All right, welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be looking at something a little different.
Oh, okay.
We're going to be diving deep into martial arts school websites,
Interesting.
specifically what makes them effective.
Okay.
So, attracting new students, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the source material we're using for this is a piece called Essential Features for Effective Martial Arts School Websites.
Okay.
It's from a web design company called Site Design and Now W.
Right.
And one of the most surprising things that I learned reading this is that it's not just about, a cool-looking site.
Right.
It's really about building trust and making things easy for potential students.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so think of your website as kind of like your digital dojo,
I like that.
It has to be welcoming, it has to be informative, and it has to showcase your expertise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So to kick things off, I think it's important to really understand the power of first impressions when it comes to these websites.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, often the website is the very first interaction a potential student has with the school, right?
That's very true. Very true.
So, imagine someone is, say, in Logan, Australia, and they're looking for a martial arts school.
Okay.
They find one online, it seems interesting, but then they click on the website and it's just like a complete mess.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, you're probably going to click away.
Exactly. You're out of there, right?
Exactly. It's a missed opportunity, really.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity for the school because they've essentially, even if unintentionally, put up this barrier to entry.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's say we have a potential student, right? What's the first thing that a martial arts website needs to absolutely nail to keep them engaged?
I would say that the first thing you need to get right is class schedules.
Class schedules, okay.
But it can't be just a simple list, with times.
Right.
You got to think about it. People are busy.
Oh, yeah.
They need to be able to see, at a glance, what fits their schedule, what's suitable for their school level. And ideally, they should be able to interact with the schedule online, you know.
That makes sense.
Like a digital calendar or something.
Right. So no more digging through tons of pages of text or having to call the school during office hours just to figure out when is the beginner karate class.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the article actually mentions interactive calendars that can sync with people's personal devices.
Right, which is
that's amazing.
hugely helpful.
It's almost like having a personal assistant just for your martial arts journey, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And, this is something the article specifically calls out as important for Australians, especially with their, on-the-go lifestyles.
Yeah.
Particularly in a place like Logan.
Mm-hmm. So it's all about removing that friction.
Right.
Making it easy for someone to say yes to trying out a class.
Exactly, yeah.
So, okay, we have a really convenient, easy-to-use schedule. What comes next? What else is essential?
Well, once you have that, you need to think about building trust.
Trust, okay.
Martial arts is all about the instructor.
Yeah, for sure.
So the website needs to showcase that instructor's expertise,
Right.
Give you that feeling of connection you would normally get if you actually met them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the article, it actually talks about having detailed instructor bios on the website.
Right.
So not just listing their name and their rank.
Right, yeah.
But going further and highlighting achievements,
Mhm.
maybe even mentioning their training lineage.
Yeah, imagine you go on a website and you see an instructor bio that says, trained under a renowned grandmaster.
Oh.
Or has, rare black belt ranking.
Yeah.
I think you'd be much more likely to trust their teaching, right?
Definitely. It's like seeing a chef's Michelin star rating, before you even book a reservation.
Exactly.
It just adds this instant level of credibility.
Yeah, that's credibility, yeah.
But wouldn't you say that it's also important to have social proof from other students as well?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like testimonials, that sort of thing.
Student testimonials are huge for building trust and, showing the impact of the school.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't just be generic.
Right, like a bunch of, I love this school.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
You need real stories.
Yeah.
Real transformations,
Yeah, I think that's what really makes a difference for people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you can see that someone, similar to you has achieved their goals at that school, it just feels more attainable, more real.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like having a friend vouch for the quality of the teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And the article really stresses the power of having diverse testimonials as well.
Oh, for sure.
From beginners all the way up to, advanced students.
Yeah.
Which shows that the school is inclusive, right? and that it caters to everyone's individual journey.
Yeah.
So we have a great schedule. We have these impressive instructors. We've got these glowing testimonials. What else? What are we missing?
I'd say the next crucial element for any modern martial arts school website is online booking.
Online booking, right?
It might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many schools still make you call or email.
Ugh, I know. It's like stepping back in time.
Right.
I actually tried to sign up for a class once, and it was like that.
Oh, no.
It was like I had to leave a voicemail and wait for them to call me back, and by then I had lost interest,
Oh, yeah.
So it's just not a good user experience.
It's not a good experience. People are used to booking things online these days.
Exactly.
It needs to be quick, easy.
Yeah.
Martial arts schools need to adapt to that if they want to stay competitive.
It's like the difference between ordering takeout online versus having to call the restaurant, wait on hold, and repeat your order multiple times.
Yeah.
One is so much more smooth and efficient, and the other one's just
Yeah.
frustrating, right?
Yeah.
And the article mentions that this is particularly important, again, for people in places like Logan, where convenience is just highly valued because everyone's so busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So by making the enrollment process as seamless as possible, schools can really increase those conversion rates, right?
For sure.
Get those people signing up.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have this great schedule. We have these really impressive instructors. We've got the glowing testimonials. We have the ease of online booking. What's the final piece of the puzzle here?
I think the final piece is information on belt progression.
Belt progression, okay.
It might seem minor, but for someone new to martial arts, that whole ranking system, it can seem like a complete mystery.
It can be intimidating.
Yeah.
When I first started, I definitely remember feeling a little lost,
Yeah.
unsure of what it actually took to advance to the next level.
So a well-designed website should lay out the belt system clearly. Maybe even use visuals, like a flowchart or like a progression map.
Yeah, I like that.
That way it makes the journey more tangible, more understandable.
Yeah.
And it helps set those realistic expectations for potential students.
It's like having a roadmap for your training, right?
Right.
You can see the path ahead of you.
Exactly.
You can see those milestones, and it just becomes way less intimidating.
Yes. Yeah.
And the article even mentions using visuals specifically to explain, often complex belt systems, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because then it becomes less about the mystery and more about the journey itself.
Exactly.
It gives people something to aspire to and allows them to really visualize their progress.
For sure.
Okay, so to recap, we've covered the basics, the essentials of what makes a martial arts school website really effective. Clear and accessible class schedules, detailed instructor bios, authentic student testimonials, that convenience of online booking, and a clear outline of the belt progression system.
Yeah, sounds good.
But there's a lot more to unpack here.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back in part 2 to dive even deeper into some of the nuances of design, content, and really how these digital dojos are shaping the future of martial arts.
I'm looking forward to it.
So stay tuned.
All right.
Welcome back to our deep dive into martial arts school websites. In the last part, we talked about those essential features, like the must-haves.
Yeah.
But now I'm curious, what actually makes a site stand out? What takes it to that next level?
You're right. It's about more than just checking those boxes,
Right.
It's like the difference between a house and a home.
Oh.
You need the basic structure, but it's those little details,
Yeah.
the personality that really make it inviting.
I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So in the context of a website, what are some of those details that can really elevate it?
Well, the article talks a lot about presentation.
Presentation, okay.
It's not enough to just have the information there.
Right.
It needs to be presented in a way that's visually engaging,
Yeah.
easy to navigate. Think about using things like high-quality images and videos to really showcase the school's energy.
Yeah. Show, don't tell.
Exactly.
Let those potential students see those powerful moments of training, the camaraderie, even the fun side of martial arts.
For sure.
I remember once I visited a school's website, and they had this amazing video of students practicing sword techniques in a sunlit courtyard, and it was just instantly I wanted to be a part of that.
You see, that's what I'm talking about.
It was so powerful.
Exactly. Those visuals, they create an emotional connection, right?
Yeah.
That you just can't get from plain text.
Right.
And it's not just about the aesthetics either.
Oh, okay.
It's also about clarity. You know,
Right.
the language that's used on the website, it needs to be accessible to everyone.
For sure.
Even people who have, never even stepped foot in a dojo before.
Because no one wants to feel overwhelmed by a bunch of jargon
Right.
or technical terms they don't understand.
Yeah, it's like trying to read a book in a foreign language,
Yeah,
You might get the gist, but you're missing those nuances.
exactly. And the goal here is to welcome people in,
Yeah.
not to scare them away with, how complex it all seems.
Absolutely.
So speaking of welcoming people in, the article also suggests going beyond just those basic elements and actually providing content that adds value for potential students.
Interesting. What kind of content are we talking about here?
So think like blog posts, articles, things like that
Yeah.
that explore the benefits of martial arts,
Right.
Maybe address some common questions or concerns people might have.
Yeah, it's good.
Like imagine an article that talks about the physical and mental benefits of training.
Mhm.
Or maybe a piece on how to choose the right style for your goals. Yeah, it's all about anticipating their needs, right?
Right.
And providing them with the information that they're looking for.
It's like having a virtual guide to the world of martial arts,
Exactly. And by doing that, by creating this valuable content, you're not just attracting website visitors, you're actually building trust and establishing yourself as a resource.
Sure.
Which is so crucial, especially in an industry like this where personal connection is so important.
Absolutely.
But wouldn't you say that all of this, like the design, the content, the features, it all boils down to one thing, capturing the essence of the school?
You hit the nail on the head. A truly effective website. It should feel like a digital extension of the physical dojo.
Yeah.
It needs to convey those values, the energy, the school's unique personality.
So it's not just about having a website, it's about having the right website.
That's
one
right.
that really reflects, the heart and soul of the school.
For sure.
And resonates with potential students on like a deeper level.
Exactly. And that's what separates a good website from a truly great one. It's the difference between just like listing information
Yeah.
and actually creating an experience.
Right.
It's about telling a story,
Yeah.
building a connection,
Yeah.
and ultimately inviting people to join a community.
Okay, so we've explored those must-have features, the importance of presentation, and the power of creating really valuable content. But there's one last piece to this puzzle,
Oh.
How do these digital dojos, how do they impact the future of martial arts?
Interesting question.
We'll explore that and more in the final part of our deep dive.
It sounds good.
So stay with us.
And we are back for the final part of our deep dive, all about martial arts school websites.
Are you?
We've talked about those must-have features,
Yeah.
the presentation, creating that content. But now I kind of want to zoom out,
Yeah.
Look at the bigger picture.
Okay, yeah.
How are these websites, these digital dojos like we've been calling them?
How are they changing the landscape of martial arts as a whole?
What I find really interesting is how they bridge that gap between tradition and technology.
Yeah.
In the past, finding a martial arts school,
Yeah.
it was very much a local experience.
Yeah.
You relied on word of mouth
Right.
or just
Yeah.
stumbling upon a physical location.
It's true. I remember when I was a kid, my parents would drive me all over town looking for karate schools.
Oh, wow.
And we'd judge them based on their signage,
Right.
and maybe a quick peek through the window.
That's it.
That was all we had.
Yeah, very limited.
Exactly. But now with websites,
Yeah,
the search for a school, it becomes global.
it does, yeah.
Someone in Logan, Australia,
Well.
they can look at schools across the country, compare different styles, watch videos of classes, even get a sense of the community vibe all from their computer.
Yeah, all without leaving their house.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
So it's opening up all these possibilities for potential students. But what about for the schools themselves? How do these websites change the way they operate,
I think it's a game changer for their marketing and outreach.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. In today's world, everyone's bombarded with information all the time.
Oh, yeah.
A well-designed website allows those schools to cut through that noise,
Yeah.
connect with a much wider audience.
I see. It kind of levels the playing field then.
It does, yeah.
Like a smaller school with a fantastic website can compete with those larger, more established schools just by having this really strong online presence.
Exactly. It's not just about that physical location anymore.
Right.
It's about creating a digital experience, something that draws people in, sparks their interest, makes them want to learn more.
Yeah, it's almost like that feeling you get when you walk into a dojo for the first time.
Right.
And you just, you know it's the right place for you.
Yeah.
A great website can evoke that same feeling even before you physically stepped foot in the door.
Absolutely.
It's really powerful.
It is.
And as we become, even more reliant on the internet for information and connection, these digital dojos, they're only going to play an even bigger role in shaping the future of martial arts, right?
Sure, no doubt.
It makes you wonder, in a world that's becoming so virtual,
Right.
how important is that in-person connection still going to be?
That's a great question. And I think the answer is that both are important.
Yeah.
The physical and the digital, they can coexist.
Okay.
They can complement each other.
I see.
The website, it can be that initial point of contact,
Yeah.
that spark that ignites the interest. But the real magic,
Right.
it still happens when you step on the mat.
Yeah.
Connect with those instructors and the other students.
It's like the website's the invitation,
Yeah, the invitation.
but the real journey begins in the dojo.
Right. And that journey, that transformation that happens through martial arts training,
Mm-hmm.
it's ultimately about human connection.
Yeah.
Pushing yourself beyond your limits.
Yeah.
Finding that community that supports you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one key takeaway you hope our listener will walk away with today?
I hope they see that martial arts school websites, they're more than just digital brochures,
Yeah.
They're powerful tools for storytelling, for connection,
Yeah.
and for making this incredible practice
Right.
more accessible to people all over the world.
And maybe even inspire a few more people to take that leap
I hope so.
and start their own martial arts journey.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on this exploration of digital dojos.
It was fun.
We hope you gained some valuable insights today.
Yeah.
Maybe even a newfound appreciation for that intersection of tradition and technology
For sure.
in the world of martial art.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep diving deep.